how our plants are going to produce food for their selves and for us. Don't forget we are also eating the plants and they also need energy to produce themselves. So grow rather. So we said photosynthesis is divided into what the light reaction and the dark reaction, and we have looked at the light reaction. Now I want to understand the dark reaction. And we said in the light reaction, the first of all we said that photosynthesis is fixing CO2 to produce what? Organic compound. And that fixation of CO2 needs energy, right? The energy is gotten from our sunlight, and that energy process or the process of getting that energy or call it the light reaction in the light in the day. So all what is happening in the day, like we are in now, like I am in now, I don't know when you're watching me, but like I am in now in the day now is the light reaction. So it's going to be amassing energy, amassing energy. So in the night, that energy will not be used. So we have produced it through series of electron transport chain. That energy will now be used by our dark reaction. Let me clean it like this so we understand what we are saying. So we say we have produced what? ATP and what? NADPH. Don't forget, very important. ATP and NADPH. So we said a light reaction, we have what? Dark reaction. And we said we are converting CO2 to what? Glucose. And we said the energy it is produced by what? By a light reaction through what? Through all the process we mentioned in that place. So let's see where do we need this energy from and where do we need this energy to work in our dark reaction. So in the dark reaction, what happens in the dark reaction? The main process of photosynthesis where it occurs. So we say dark reaction. What we are doing is that we are converting CO2 to glucose. This is the cocoa. So if you want to write your full reaction for your photosynthesis, you say CO2 plus water, right? Don't forget you say light energy. So you can see where this other reaction is coming, other reactant is coming from. Light energy and H2 is coming from where? Let me write it in red. It's coming from the light reaction. It's coming from the light reaction. So light energy is coming from the light reaction. So but this is the cocoa. So it was what? O6. So don't forget sorry, I say O6, O2. We release CO2 as our waste product. So in the dark reaction, CO2 is converted to what? So this is the dark reaction that we are considering now. The dark reaction, CO2 is converted to glucose. So what is happening is that, first of all, in our leaf, CO2 is being what? Is being absorbed by the leaf. And that process by which CO2 is being absorbed is called what? Fixation of CO2. So imagine they now ask you a question. What is the first step in photosynthesis? And somebody now, and the option said number 1, fixation of CO2. Observe my question. First step in photosynthesis. Number 1, fixation of CO2. Number 2, photolysis of water. Number 3, activation of chlorophyll. Number 4, production of energy. What would you say? Of course, you cannot say fixation of CO2. You can see where we have been coming from. We have been coming from light reaction. So this is just number 1 in the dark reaction. So what happens in the dark reaction? The first thing that happens in the dark reaction, the answer to my question that I said, what is the first process in photosynthesis, is the activation of chlorophyll. But the first process in the dark reaction is called the what? The fixation of carbon dioxide. So we fix carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide adds itself to some other organic compound, right? Now, and it adds them to organic compound to produce a 3-carbon molecule, or a 3-carbon sugar, or a 3-carbon compound, or a 3-molecule sugar. How you want to put it? But just know that it converts itself to these 3 like that. Then we call this, when we fix carbon and it produces sugar, we call it the first stable product of photosynthesis. It's a 3-carbon compound. It's actually called PGA, phosphoglycerate. Glycerate, yes. Or you don't need it. So it is called the first stable process of what product of photosynthesis. So the dark reaction, you can see that we are, so this PGA will now join to another organic compound, another three organic compound to form our glucose. So that comes to the end of the light reaction and dark reaction. Look at an overview. We will take some questions before we go into the experiment in our next videos. Thank you very much.